Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Pooja. So we're live now.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. People are joining.
People are joining. Yes.
Yeah.
I can see one name here, live frames. Since it's a Sunday, so people, I
Yeah.
don't know.
We
How it,
don't know. Is my sound okay to you?
sorry?
Is my sound okay to you?
Yes, it's okay. Yes. How about mine?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Loud and clear?
Audible. Yeah,
Audible.
audible.
Okay.
So should we talk about patience then?
Definitely. Yes, let's talk
Before
about
we see more audience.
Yes. Let's
Yes.
talk about patience. Patience, I think,
So,
yeah, tell me, I would love to know your views on patience.
okay, so I have jotted down 3 quotes. Yeah,
Sure.
this is Owen Villa. She is saying good morning to us.
I see.
Good morning,
Good,
Owen Villa.
good, good morning.
Good morning, Scratchbook Publication. Patience is not the ability to wait,
Mm-hmm.
but the ability to keep a good attitude while waiting. And I want that attitude from audience while they wait for us to start the live. I really need that patience. Yeah, people are, slowly joining.
Mm-hmm.
Another quote, patience is the art of concealing your impatience, like we are doing now.
Perfect.
Patience is when you are supposed to get mad, but you choose to understand. I hope our audience is understanding us. They are taking the time to join.
I know, I'm sure they understand. Patience is, it's difficult. Sometimes I say, patience is like that new crown that you get on your tooth. So
Yeah.
it's difficult to get used to it, but then if you have it, then definitely it's beneficial. So it's like that bonsai. If you watch a bonsai growing, I think you will develop a lot of patience because it takes ages.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember
Yes.
writing about a lemon tree, we have one here at our home. And if you really watch the lemons growing, you can, it's a lesson in patience because it will take 6 to 7 months to see those green little lemons, turning into a bigger lemon, and another 6 months for it to turn yellow. So it's
Yeah.
like a 1 year process. And if you watch that, and you can develop some patience in life.
So overall, nature is all about patience.
Yes.
Still, humans lack it.
Yeah, this is sabr ka phal meetha hota hai. So
Yeah.
the fruit of patience is sweet.
I
So,
really like that fruit. I actually crave for it. Okay, should we start then?
definitely, let's do that.
Yeah.
I think we have, yes.
So, hello, audience. A very good morning to all. This is Pooja Jaipale representing Scratchbook Publication in collaboration with FAB, Feel a Book by Priya Rao, to host an interview with an eminent and thoughtful author, Ranjana Kamo. She has 15 books to her name. Her latest work are Heartborn, Mission, Work, Life and Harmony, The Mystery of Utmost Happiness and Blind Chase. We will be knowing these works and other as well in the interview ahead. Apart from that, she is a finance professional, happiness coach, and quality professional. She believes in helping people find their calm in the chaos of their lives. Hello, ma'am. It's Pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pooja and Scratchbook Publications. It is wonderful to be, joining you for this interesting conversation that we are going to have. And thank you for having me.
It's
It's
an
a great
honor,
pleasure.
ma'am.
My pleasure.
Yes. So, starting with our interview, my first question: which out of your novel is most close to your heart?
That's a very difficult question. Reason being, I feel, all my books are like my babies. So it is very difficult to choose one child from amongst all your children. You know, uh, and the reason for that is because, there is a part of me in every book. It could be an experience from my life, which is narrated there, or it could be a facet of my personality, which appears in some characters in the novels. So each book is a part of me. It's an extension of me. So, so I have to love each one of them. Every time I write a new book, I feel, that maybe this is closer to my heart. Maybe because, I have, it's like a graph, because every time you write something new, you definitely improve your writing. So I feel, maybe this is the best one, and this is the one that is closer to my heart. But then I feel the same thing for the next book. So the best work is probably yet to happen, but yes, each one of them is a baby for me. So I love all of them.
For mothers, your children are equal. Like, you know.
Yes, yes, definitely.
So, moving on, what is the message that you want to put out to your audience through your latest book, Hardborn?
Hardbone, it's a story about adoption of a baby girl, and with the backdrop of adoption, I have it's actually a story, a love story, which has adoption in the backdrop. Now, before I explain a bit about Hardborn, I just want to, mention one small incident. There was this man who, when he was asked how many children he has, he told us he has two children. Later, we got to know that he has five children, two sons and three daughters. But he only acknowledges two of them, because when we asked him why he's doing that, he says, the, those are just, they, I don't consider them as my children, because they'll be married off and gone. So for him, in spite of the fact that he has five children, he only mentions two, because only two are sons. So, and he's not the only one. There are many people like that who have that mindset. So that is a very dangerous mindset to the growth of the world and growth of the society. And I don't know how many generations it's going to take to come out of that mindset. But I just, wish that it happens soon. So coming back
Yeah,
to, yeah, and coming back to Hardborn, the reason I wrote the book, because I met two different kinds of communities within our society. One were these people who did not accept their girl child, and they wanted to give up that girl child, whether to an orphanage or,
yeah,
otherwise. And there was another set of people who were willing to come forward and adopt the baby girls. And they have
yeah.
adopted them. I know more than a couple of them who have adopted baby girls, who have brought them up with so much love and care. And these girls are so accomplished today. So that is, these are two extremes of the society. So now when we come to Hardborn, the message that I want to give here, one is that every child deserves the love of his or her parents, irrespective of the gender of the child. Secondly, a person becomes a parent when the person accepts the child and loves and cares and nourishes that child, and not just by giving birth to a child.
That's a
So the
good point.
book,
That's a really good point.
thank you, and the book Hardborn, it is my tribute to all those people who are loving their children and caring for them, irrespective of the gender of the child, and irrespective of the fact whether the child is biological or adopted. And the title of Heartborn, it means that a child born from the heart, because it's the story of
Yeah,
adoption.
yeah. I would really suggest your audience to go on Amazon and find the book. as soon as possible. Moving on, you have emphasized the importance of me time in your latest book, Work, Life and Harmony, with Hay House Publication. So, what is Ranjana Kamo's me time like?
Yes, I have a complete chapter of me time in Mission Work Life Harmony. So, me time, just like we charge our mobile phones, we charge our laptops. Similarly, we need to charge our most important infrastructure of life, which is our mind, body, and soul. We need to recharge that every single day. And for doing that, for personally, what I do is I sit with a cup of tea, either in a corner of my home or I sit out in the garden. I watch the sun rising. I look at the color of the sky. I look at the clouds, the shape of the clouds. I look at the flowers, the birds. I hear them chirping. And I just sit blank. I just admire them. And that recharges me for the entire day, because that really gives me a lot of energy. So for me, and even during the day, between my work, I will take that time, be it 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I will just sit blank and do nothing. Or if I'm not sitting blank, I will think about, how my life is going to pan out in the next 5 years. I'll probably be goal setting, or I could even be working on the to-do list for the next day. So that is how my me time is generally.
Yeah, I can quote all good things are wild and free to us. As we see, you have touched almost a set of genres like self-help, non-fiction, thriller, poetry, short stories, and even children's book. With which genre could you feel more of a connection?
I love reading mysteries and thrillers. And while I love reading them, I even enjoy writing them. Though I have been able to write only one mystery novel, and I do intend to write more. So that is my favorite genre, whether I read or write. Because, I love to keep the reader guessing till the end as to who the culprit is. So that there is a thrill in itself in that. And that is the reason that I love that genre.
I must agree, your books are really engaging. Audience must definitely go to Amazon to find your books.
Thank you. Thank
Uh, like in your book with Hay House Publication, The Mystery of Utmost Happiness, where you're talking about chasing happiness is exhausting. In the context to it, how exhausting is chasing happiness in your life?
you. Yes, in this book, The Mystery of Utmost Happiness, I have mentioned that people find chasing happiness as exhausting, because everybody, I feel that most of the people, they are looking for happiness in the outward world, the outer world. They feel that, probably if we get this job, we'll be happy, or if I get this car, I'll be happy. If I buy this new house, I'll be happy, or if I get a promotion, I'll be happy. But happiness is not available in the outer world, it is within you. You have to just identify that and you have to be happy. So for me, happiness is never exhausting, because I don't chase it. Happiness is within me, I have found it, and I don't chase it. I remain happy all the time. So a lot of people, if they get stressed, they will be unhappy. So what I do is, if there is a stressful situation, or if there's a problem, there's a challenge, something, wrong has happened, I don't let it affect me. I don't let it control me. I don't allow it to move to the inbox of my life. It straight away moves out to the outbox or the spam folder or the junk folder of my life, or the recycle bin. So any one of them is most welcome to take the stress, because I'm not going to take it. So that's that's one reason.
Yeah.
I have realized, it doesn't happen overnight. Over the years, I have understood that, I can be happy in spite of all the challenges that are there in life. This is like, it might sound like just a simple sentence right now, but this is the crux of all the experiences of my life, which have
Yeah.
boiled down just one sentence here. It's
Yeah.
like it's decades of probably going through challenges. So if somebody rejects something that I'm just giving an example. Supposing I put up
Yeah.
a proposal, or I send a book for publication, somebody rejects. So no problem. I tell myself it's not my loss. It's that guy's loss, not mine. So
Yeah.
why
Always
should
a
I be
positive
unhappy?
look up.
Yeah, why should
Yeah.
I be unhappy about it? So I remain happy. So I'm not chasing happiness, so it doesn't exhaust me at all.
Okay. On that note, audience who are seeking happiness must seek this book on Amazon. Moving ahead, what influenced you to write the novel All Things Loving?
That's my love for animals. When I see how people ill-treat animals, that hurts. So, and it is very unfair on the animals, because if they do not have a voice, so they cannot
Yeah.
react. We cannot torture them or trouble them in any way possible. So in this book, All Things Living, the characters are all animals, and I talk about their kingdom and how they sometimes, mankind can be really very cruel. They can be very troublesome for these animals. So here I have tried to give a perspective from
Mm.
their side, from the side of the animals. So if you are an animal lover, I'm sure you will love this book.
Yes, I am. We'll surely go through it. Moving on, we see a spiritual take about success in the novel God Walks by Dreams. So, what's your personal take on spirituality and success, respectively?
I'm a very spiritual person. I believe in God. I believe that God knows what is right for us, and God will lead us there. And I believe in destiny, but I do not believe blindly in destiny. What for my destiny, what it means for me is that at every step in our life, God gives us options, which could be in the form of opportunities, or it could be in the form of a decision making. And based on all these options, the one that we choose takes us to a predestined destination. But it is our choice. So we decide our destiny. There are several
Yeah,
destinies, but we are deciding it. And but if we have faith in God, if we keep saying, like the title of the book says, God walks my dreams, that means that God is there with me, hand holding me and taking me to my dreams. He really is walking me to my dreams. So if today God is not letting me do something, then probably, He knows that there is something better waiting for me. If not better, maybe something that I deserve. And He will definitely lead me there, and He will give me a signal. It could be anything. It could be maybe, when you're writing something, your Wi-Fi breaks down. That is a signal. No,
yeah.
you're not supposed to do this. So it could be a small signal. It could be anything.
It could be
God is there.
anything.
It
Yeah,
could be anything.
yeah.
So yeah. So in this book, the hero of the book, he goes through so many struggles, but ultimately he finds success. But in spite of the struggles and the challenges in his life, he is a firm believer that God is there to help him, and God will lead him to success. And I feel it the same way, that God is there walking with me, and he will take me where I should be. So that's
I will
my
quote
take.
on. Yeah,
Sure.
I will quote on that.
Yes.
If he brings you to it, he will put you through it.
Lovely.
Moving ahead, we see you have an intrigue in psychology too. So, being from a financial background, how do you learn to read human emotions so well?
I think it is my financial background which has helped me in this, because I'll explain how. See, when I was doing my chartered accountancy, I was expected to work, as per the guidelines of the CA Institute, I was expected to work as an intern with a CA firm for 3 years. So during those 3 years, I met hundreds and hundreds of people who had different kind of personalities, different behaviors, different attitudes. They came from various walks of life, had different languages, different regions. And there was so much to observe, so much to learn from their behaviors, their nature, what exactly the human nature is about, why they are behaving the way they are behaving, or why are they talking like this. And the ability to, once you keep watching people like that, you get the ability to read between the lines. You can understand, you can understand the smallest of nuances when people are talking to you. So they may use different words, but they mean something else.
Yeah.
So so that helped me. CA helped me. After that, my work with a finance company and then with a bank, that helped me, because I again was meeting different people from different companies, different agencies, different vendors, and that really helped me a lot, because the exposure to multitude of people, to multitude of behaviors, attitudes, I think that really helped me build my characters for my novels.
Okay. Moving ahead, I am curious. When did you sow the seed of literature in your life?
Long back. I think it's probably genetic, because my mom writes, my dad, or I remember reading some
Okay.
poems written by my dad. So I still remember, I was, these are stray incidents. I must have been 3 or 4 years old. I used to, if we had guests at home, I would just gather them around in the living room, and I would sit there and tell them, I have to tell you a story. You know,
Okay.
so it would, get late, and it would be almost midnight. Those people are literally tired, they're yawning, but I tell them, one more, ek aur sun lo, one more, I have one more story. So I have to, I used to tell them all, and I started scribbling things on papers. I would scribble my stories, whichever way I may have known at that point of time. I would just scribble them, but then I was not keeping a record. I would just, after writing down, I would just throw these papers away. Then I think it was around the age of 6 when my mom gave me a diary, and she said, instead of throwing away the papers, why don't you just, write it in a diary, so that we have a record of what you've written.
Mhm.
So the earliest record I have is from age 6, though I was writing before that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
That's
reading also. I was reading a
impressive.
lot and writing a lot.
That's really impressive. To know more about in the book Lighthouse of Nitani, we see
Yes.
you mentioning set in the backdrop of the cohesive family. This story is based on the impact a person can have on developing, enhancing, as well as destroying a personality. How true do you think in this statement is relation to your life?
It's very true, because enough in your extended family, you have all kinds of personalities. There'll be
I
people who
agree.
will love you. There'll be people who will love you a lot. Then there will be people who are always there to put you down, or maybe they want to manipulate you because they want some work done, or something that can benefit them. So there are all these people, the people who love you, they will nurture you, they will help you in your growth. But people
Yeah.
who are manipulating you, or the people who are selfish or get jealous of your, of the work that you do, what they, with their sharp remarks or their, bickerings, they can have a twofold effect on you. Either you will become an introvert and you stop talking to people or engaging with the world, or they will make
Yeah.
you very aggressive. They will make you so aggressive that you want to just fight them every time. So I think that's how they change your personality.
I actually love the concept of this book. I am really going to genuinely going to check this out. Really.
Thank you. Thank
Moving ahead. In the book Master Your Life, we see this statement. This book aims at understanding the various negative emotions that serve as roadblocks to our personal growth. So what are those roadblocks you have pertinently faced in your writing journey?
Okay. I had started off writing poetry when I was in school and then in college. After that, there was a huge gap in my writing till I first wrote my the first fiction, because of my work. Though it was a 9 to 5 job, but I would reach the office before, much before the time, and it would go up till 7, 8. It could go up to any time, and I hardly had any work. So that was a roadblock because I just didn't have the time to write. But one day,
Yeah.
I remember I was making a cup of tea, and while I was having it, suddenly, God walks my dreams. I could see the title, and I could see the story, unfolding before me. And I felt I have to write this
Okay.
book. I want to. And why am I holding myself? I have this huge gap. So I want to go back to writing because that's the passion. So, and the same day while I was driving to work, I mean, I could visualize the entire first chapter of the book. And when I came home, I started thinking, how do I do this? How do I write this book now? And then I used to come home, I used to have my dinner and watch TV for 1 hour and then go off to sleep. So I said, okay, I have this 1 hour. I'm not going to watch TV. I'm going to write in this time. So that's how I started writing. And 6 months later, I was able to publish my first book. And apart from that, when we talk about roadblocks, I feel that, if we look at the daily writing, supposing
Mhm.
I'm completely focused on creating something. I'm writing, I have a beautiful sentence in my mind, or I have a, beautiful concept of a character, which is currently, I would say, at 100% of my creativity. Now, suddenly there's a phone call which I cannot avoid, which is urgent, and I have to take it. Or maybe the
Mhm.
doorbell rings and there is a courier or somebody that obviously, I have to get up and go and figure out who's
Yeah.
disturbing me. With that kind of a distraction, by the time I come back, I mean, that thought process is interrupted, and
Yeah.
I probably have to settle for a sentence or an emotion or probably a scene for my book, which is not at that 100%. It has probably come down to 95 or
Yeah.
90%. So they always say, the real story is always in your mind. What you put down on paper is, you
Yeah.
it's a less than what you had in mind, what you had imagined. So
Yeah. So in life, you really like the slang we say, you never know.
you never know. Yes.
Yeah. So in the book, Little Miss Myra, her experience are no less than magic. So who is or was the Little Miss Myra in your life?
Okay, so this is the
It's
actually
you,
it's
actually.
my story. I wrote
Oh,
about myself. I had my whatever experiences I had during my childhood because Little Miss Myra is a book for children. It's for little children. Little children can enjoy this because the experiences that I have noted. I mean, the crux of the experience would be the same, but I may have changed the story here or there. Probably made the incidents slightly different, but the lesson is the same. Whatever I learned during my childhood. So these little stories, these short stories, are from my childhood.
so turn out that Myra was you. You were asking about.
Yes, and the funny
Yeah.
part was, I used to write this book. I kept writing, and I forgot about it. It was there in my folders, and one day, I was hunting for something, and I just looked at it. I said, "My God, this is a complete book. So why haven't we published it?" And I don't
Yeah.
know why it was lying there, and then I published it after so many years of writing it.
We have seen a repetition of the theme depression and anger consequently in your books. What is the core solution to deal with this effectively, according to you?
Anger and actually, the depression is actually frustration because when people struggle, they get frustrated, and the other one is anger. So whenever there was a one is never give up. You can change the course of your life, but never give up. I mean, that's the only thing you can do, and always believe that something better is waiting for you. If it has not happened, means something is there, which you are destined for, and you're going to get it. It might take time, but you're going to get it. Anger, the therapy for anger, it's very quick to get angry and spoil your relationships. But if you are able to give yourself just, a few seconds there, And instead of having that outburst on the things that are, not going right, if you can divert that energy to doing something else, maybe going for a run, probably dancing, or just, making some
Yeah.
bold strokes on a canvas with paint, so that you do not, you utilize that, because it's sort of energy. It's just that how do you find an outlet for it? Instead of screaming
Hmm.
and shouting at somebody, why not do that? And because, anger is, it's like they say, it's like an acid which is going to corrode you. It corrodes the
Hmm.
vessels. The other
Yeah.
guy is going to get affected by it. And that is, and but yes, definitely, it's, if something, somebody has crossed a line, it's not that you can't get angry. You should not get angry. I mean, there will be situations when
Yeah.
it is required, because you're human. So I'm not saying that we should not, but yes, get angry when it is, somebody crosses the line. There is something, somebody's trying to be, fraudulent, done something fraudulent,
Hmm.
or maybe something illegal. Obviously, you cannot stop your anger there. But, maybe, somebody's spilled something. That doesn't really call for getting angry, because
Hmm.
nobody does it purposely. If somebody's
Yeah.
clumsy, if somebody, or probably, I remember there was a time, I would get angry if somebody had moved any stuff in my room. But I've learned that, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Need not.
We learn
You know,
with time.
we learn with time. So,
Yeah.
the only thing that I do with my books is that, okay, maybe I'm just giving you, sharing my experience. If it helps you, good enough, because you don't have to
Yeah.
reinvent the wheel again.
Yeah.
You're saved from there, but saved from that exercise. And yes, so
So we'll come to the last part. You have an alluring aura of creating gratifying poems, which touch on various aspects of human behavior and attitude. In your book, Treasured Perspectives, so any particular poem among them which you can recall at the moment, or you want to read out or share with us?
I can recall the first poem in that book, which is on appreciation. Here, I am actually talking about, gratitude, because the attitude of gratitude, that is very important in life, and people
Yeah.
forget that, to be
Yeah.
grateful for the little things in life. I feel that even in your morning prayer, if you just say a simple thank you to God, I think that would suffice. And we forget to do that. We forget to say thanks to people who help us. We forget to thank the world for, or maybe God, for all the things that we have, be it good health, or, you know, any faculties that are working, or of your home, your family. And in this poetry, the poem on appreciation, that's what I try to say, that, when you are appreciating somebody who has helped you, it is not just the receiver of appreciation who is happy, but even the giver is happy when you appreciate someone. So it makes both the giver and the receiver happy about being appreciated, or, getting the appreciation. So that is one poem, and I can, once we finish the live, maybe I can share it in the comments. I can share that poem, probably a couple of
On
lines.
your story? On your story?
I can do that.
Will you share it on your story?
I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah. So we have come to the end of our interview, or should I ask one last question, which we readers of your books have observed, is experimenting with words, new terms, more of Ranjana Kamo's creative rush?
Oh yes, I love doing that, because, I read a lot, and when I read a lot, obviously, I get introduced to new words, new expressions, and they definitely, they seep into the subconscious. And when you're writing, so whatever input is there in the mind definitely flows into the works. So,
Yeah.
and
So, ma'am, it was great having you with us on a live. We look forward. We will be sharing your work on our stories with our team. Our team will be sharing your works in the links. So,
thank you so much. a pleasure,
Thank,
to talk to you. And thank you, Pooja. Thank you, Scratchbook. Thank you, Fab. I mean,
thank,
it's been it's a beautiful, wonderful morning, where I've been able to discuss about my books and about my thoughts. It's it's been very, very, very insightful, as well as inspiring for me as well, because as I talk to you, I can think of, I mean, I've been able to think about so many things, and maybe probably a different take to my books, the way you
yeah,
have actually gone through the books and come up with all these questions and these insights, because some of them have taken me by surprise, because maybe I had not thought along those
yeah,
lines. So yes, it's like sitting back and looking at my work, from a new perspective, which has been really very engaging, interesting, inspiring, and I think I have to thank you for that. Thank you so
no,
much,
we are
Pooja.
really grateful to have you really today. It was an honor,
Thank
really.
you, thank you so
Okay,
much. You'd be very kind of you to say that.
thank you, ma'am.
My pleasure indeed. Bye
Okay.
bye.
Have a good
Thank you
day.
everyone who's joined us. I mean,
Yeah,
it takes it's a lot of effort on
yeah,
the viewers' part to give us so much time.
to join
So
us.
thanks
Yeah,
to all the viewers also. Thank
yeah,
you, and maybe we'll do it
thank you.
again sometime.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yes,
I would love
thank
to.
you. Yes, thank
Thank,
you. Thank you so
thank.
much. Bye bye. Bye.